This segment of the news is brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.
Welcome back. A family torn following an early morning over-the-hills shooting that's left another man dead. Preliminary investigations have so far revealed that gunshots rang out in the East and Lewis Streets area just before 2 this morning. When officers arrived on the scene, they met the victim's lifeless body outside a business, the hunt in for his killer. Police, meantime, have caught the alleged masterminds behind a rash of armed robberies. The suspects were taken in last night soon after robbing a man who was sitting in his car on Montague Beach after 9 last night. We're told the gun-toting bandits robbed the man of cash and other items before fleeing in a silver Honda Fit. An all-points bulletin was immediately issued and the car was intercepted in the area of Village Road and Shirley Street. The suspects were not only arrested, but the stolen items recovered. Now, less than a week after 27-year-old Javan Forbes was shot and killed in his car, the two people allegedly behind his death were today formally charged for the crime. Appearing before Chief Magistrate Joyanne Ferguson Pratt this afternoon were 32-year-old Jamal McSweeney and 31-year-old Jamerick Green, both of Dorset Alley. Both men were not required to enter a plea. They're scheduled to return to court on February 21st, 2018 for a voluntary bill of indictment. In the meantime, the two will wait it out at the Bahamas Department of Corrections. McSweeney and Green are represented by attorney Ian Cargill. Meantime, Shaquelle Moss pleaded not guilty to a number of drug-related charges. The 20-year-old is accused of 1 count each of possession of dangerous drugs, taking preparatory steps to extort dangerous drugs, conspiracy to extort dangerous drugs, and conspiracy to possess dangerous drugs. Moss was arrested at the Lyndon Pindling International Airport this past Monday, trying to export the cocaine. Deputy Chief Magistrate Andrew Forbes denied the accused bail. His matter's been adjourned to next February, at which time he'll be able to apply for bail. And police are seeking the public's help in locating 11 wanted suspects in connection with a rash of various crimes. Chief Superintendent of Police Solomon Cash.
I also want to say that these groups comprises between 2 to 3 different persons who were involved in these incidences. And we also want to say to the members of the public that there are 1 or 2 of these individuals who are still outstanding. Behind me you would see several wanted suspects for armed robberies, and you will always also see, in addition to those wanted suspects, some deposit sketches of persons who were described to us as being perpetrators of these crimes. We are appealing to members of the public, if you know any of these individuals, to feel free to contact the police at 919-911, or if they can identify any of the persons in these sketches, to also assist the police in identifying who they are.
Now, according to Chief Superintendent Cash, the police remain committed to its fight to take criminals off the street.
Us at the Central Detective Unit, we have conducted an extensive investigation into several organized criminal groups which were perpetrating these armed robberies in 4 distinctive areas throughout New Providence, one being the eastern and the western shores of New Providence, second being what we refer to as the bump and rob armed robberies, and then thirdly was armed robberies involving residents in the eastern communities, and the fourth was armed robberies that were connected to schools, the breaking and the robbing of the security officers. Since then, I'm pleased to say that we have disrupted the 4 of these armed robbery groups. We have taken into custody 11 suspects who has been charged and arraigned before the courts on various counts of armed robberies. In total, there are 12 matters that are pending trial. We also want to say that we remain committed in our endeavors to disrupt this sort of behavior and to create a sense of to remove the fear from these communities that these armed robberies are impacting.
Of the 11 wanted criminals, 10 for armed robberies and 1 suspect, 25-year-old Perry Pickering of Dorset Alley, for murder. Our final stories are up next.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.